You can absolutely believe that feelings are useless and stupid. You can hold that belief unless you plan on marrying a woman. Then they aren't stupid, because they aren't stupid to her. They are the primary way most women feel loved and valued and prioritized, and a lack of them in her relationship will lead her feeling neglected or abandoned or hurt. If you think you can get married to a woman and continue to believe that feelings and emotions and vulnerability and intimacy and empathy are stupid and useless, then it's not the feelings that are stupid, it's you. Because those are the primary vehicles towards connection and closeness, especially for women, and you're choosing to ignore them or avoid them or dismiss them. And I'm not trying to judge you or tell you that you're stupid. Yeah, you literally just called them stupid. That's fair. I did do that, and I'm sorry. The point I'm trying to make is this: what do you want from your relationships? I know you want sex. Okay, what else do you want? Because you can get random sex with random girls from swiping your phone now. Is that what you really want? Because I'm simply trying to help you get what you want. You can't simply only want random sex with random women, because the majority of you seem to settle down with one woman. I mean, you eventually tend to be in a relationship with someone else, don't you? And even if your goal is still sex, even if you're only in that relationship strictly for sex, you need to realize that you would still be working away from that goal by treating her feelings as stupid. Take it from someone who's been married to one for almost a decade. The best way for her to have a desire to be sexually vulnerable with you is if she's feeling emotionally connected to you. So what do you actually want? Because most men will say, well, I want someone that lets me have some independence. Okay. I obviously want some bedroom time every few days. Okay. I want someone I can laugh with and doesn't cause a lot of drama or fighting. Okay, those are great goals. The only issue is thinking that feelings and vulnerability and intimacy and healthy conflict resolution are stupid only moves you away from every single one of those goals. Every single time. Don't believe me? Ask yourself, is what you're doing now working? I mean, do you have the relationship that you just described earlier? No? Well, you probably think that you just need to find the right woman, right? Bro, that woman doesn't exist. And you might say, no, I just need to find the right woman who gives me independence and isn't jealous and has little drama and prioritizes the bedroom, while at the same time doesn't care at all about me prioritizing the friendship or the closeness or valuing her feelings because, well, those things are stupid. You honestly believe that woman is out there? Because you can find women who meet some of those, but there's always a trade-off, isn't there? I mean, you can find someone hot that gives you some consistent action, but it turns out she's crazy and jealous and slashes your tires because she caught you texting another woman. Or you can find someone who puts out and gives you your independence and doesn't care about feelings just like you do. And it feels like the perfect combination, but she ends up being very distant and ends up breaking up with you. Because what a shock, she hates any form of commitment. And I'm simply trying to help you see that there's no win in your current formula. I can help you meet your goals, but first you have to see that what you're doing isn't working, and you don't know what you don't know. And the paths that you're on don't lead to where you ultimately want to end up. The relationship you described exists, but it only exists in the context of a healthy, secure, selfless, emotionally intelligent relationship. That relationship only exists between two people who value trust and who can rely on each other and feel emotional safety between each other, who seek to fully know each other and be fully known by each other. The type of couple that practices selflessness and empathy and vulnerability and intentionality and affection when it comes to how they love one another. The relationship you described where there's playfulness and independence and more sex and less fighting, that's a product of prioritizing closeness and intimacy and mutual respect and consideration between two people. See, you want the rewards of a sacrificial, selfless, service-oriented relationship without actually sacrificing or serving, and you will never have the relationship you want if you're not interested in walking the paths that lead there. And like most people, you would rather keep doing what's not working. And when your relationships aren't fulfilling, when you never get what you're looking for, you'll just blame someone else. Remember, nothing is your fault. You don't need to own your side of the relationship conflict. And you can do that for years. Most people do. And that would have been me. But God was gracious enough to break me and level my marriage and show me I wasn't actually on a path towards closeness and sacrifice and mutual respect and selflessness. I was on a path towards disconnection and distance and ultimately divorce. Because ignorance and apathy and laziness and unintentional neglect kill more marriages than anything else. But none of us think we're actually guilty of those, do we? So what do I want you to do? I want you to stop doing things your way and be open to doing something a new way. Sometimes the things that we avoid the most, sometimes the things that we think are stupid and useless, is something we're afraid to try. Is it possible you're afraid of true closeness with another person? Is it possible you avoid vulnerability because, well, there's a fear of being exposed and truly known? Because I absolutely had that. I have no shame in admitting that I was terrified to actually let someone in and know me. And I'm just saying, if there's no fear there, then you shouldn't have any issue in trying something new, right? So what do I want you to do? I want you to pick one thing, just one thing. Men always complain about people just overwhelming them with relationship advice. Okay, then just pick one thing. Pick one word that I said today that you don't know that much about, or that you could learn more about, and research one thing that you could do differently. You want to show me that you're doing enough in your marriage? Pick one thing. Google how to grow intimacy with my wife and just do one thing from that list. Google how to be more vulnerable with my wife and do one thing from that list. Google love languages. Google validation. Google how to grow friendship in my marriage. Bing healthy conflict resolution. I honestly just felt kind of bad for Bing, so I wanted to include them. Do you know what happens when you don't prioritize these things in your marriage tomorrow? Nothing. Nothing happens. But do you know what happens when you fail to prioritize intimacy and empathy and feelings and vulnerability and selflessness over years in your marriage? It dies, regardless of whether you stay together or not. And I'm just here to remind you, just like I needed reminding and still do, don't rob yourself of the relationship you deserve. Don't sabotage the potential of a great marriage because of your arrogance or ignorance or pride or selfishness. They are cancers. They only destroy, and they're in all of us. Being oblivious to them doesn't change their destructive effect on your marriage. Feelings aren't stupid or useless. Now, that doesn't mean we're ruled by them, but they are a useful tool, one of many that helps us navigate ourselves, and especially our relationships, and show love to one another. And ignoring them or avoiding them or being overwhelmed by them in your spouse will never bring you the relationship that you want. So be willing to try something new. Thank you so much for watching. I can't wait to see you in the next one.